When fear meets faith, three courageous choices that transform uncertainty into purpose. It's in our DNA to crave those moments of shared humanity, those times when we feel truly seen and understood. But here's the paradox. The path to that deep connection, to truly belonging, requires us to be vulnerable. Today we're diving deep into three courageous choices that transform uncertainty into purpose. Think about a time you wanted to speak your truth but hesitated. Maybe it was sharing a new idea at work, confessing a mistake, or finally sharing that poem you'd tucked away in a drawer. That internal struggle, that's fear whispering in your ear. Now, imagine a young woman, barely out of her teens, standing up in a room full of seasoned activists and community leaders. Her voice trembles slightly, her hand gripping the microphone for dear life, but her eyes burn with a quiet conviction. She's about to share her story, a story of injustice, deeply personal and profoundly painful. Every fiber of her being wants to shrink back, to disappear into the anonymity of the crowd. But she takes a deep breath and she speaks. She speaks her truth, raw and unfiltered, sharing her pain, her anger, and her hope for a better future. Her vulnerability creates a space for others to step into their own truth, to find their voices, to join her in demanding justice. That, my friends, is the transformative power of vulnerability. Let's talk about sacrifice. Not the kind we associate with deprivation, but the kind that sets our souls on fire. Think about the countless individuals who, throughout history, have made extraordinary sacrifices for the greater good. People like Harriet Tubman, who risked her own freedom repeatedly to guide others to safety on the Underground Railroad. She chose courage over comfort, driven by an unwavering belief in the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. But sacrifice doesn't always have to be on such a grand scale. These acts of courage, big or small, come from a place of deep love, a deep commitment to something larger than ourselves. Chapter 3. The courage to persist. Now let's talk about the long game, the courage to persist even when the odds are stacked against us. Think about the entrepreneur who pours her heart and soul into launching a business, only to face rejection after rejection. The activist who spends years, decades even, fighting for social justice, often met with indifference or outright hostility. The individual battling addiction who stumbles and falls countless times before finally breaking free. What is it that keeps them going? It's the unwavering belief in something bigger than themselves, a vision of a better future, and the stubborn refusal to give up on that vision. I think about a young man I met a few years ago. He was struggling with addiction, in and out of rehab, each relapse a crushing blow to his spirit and to those who loved him. But then something shifted. He found a support system, a community of people who believed in him, even when he couldn't believe in himself. Today, he dedicates his life to helping others find their way out of addiction, sharing his story with raw honesty and unwavering hope. So my friends, I leave you with this: what fear is holding you back? What dream, what yearning have you tucked away for fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown? I challenge you this week to choose courage over comfort. Identify one small step you can take to move towards your purpose, to embrace your vulnerability, or to simply show up more authentically in your life. Share your fear, your goal, your small step in the comments below. Let's create a community of support, a circle of courage, to remind each other that we are not alone in this journey.